Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal.
What's up? We got a new update and a surprising one revolving around the Diddy case and the Diddy trial. We are now finding out that I'll be sure the man who has been claiming all kinds of things, all allegations towards Diddy, claiming that he is the reason, Diddy is the reason why he was put into a coma and have all his organs just basically shut down on him and everything. He is claiming some very, very wild and unbelievable allegations that have been running wild for years out here in the rumor mill. And now he is going to be a witness and he will testify against Diddy in Diddy's federal trial, which means not only is he going to be talking about his experience and how he got sick and how his liver failure and all this stuff that got him into a coma happened because of Diddy, he is also going to be talking about Kim Porter and her untimely and mysterious demise. Yes, guys, this is going to be absolutely insane. I'm telling you right now, when he goes in that room, because he's been subpoenaed, apparently he's talking to his lawyers, he's talking to his people to make sure it's all going down. But the fact that he's been subpoenaed means that they are very much interested in having him come in and talk. He is definitely going to be a surprise witness. Well, I mean, not really that much of a surprise witness now, but I don't think Diddy expected, and Diddy's team, I don't think Diddy and his team expected this to happen. But nonetheless, this is all going down. And of course, maybe Kim Porter's book will be brought into the conversation as well, at least her journal, maybe not the actual book that was out here imprinted for everyone to read, but maybe the allegations that were said in her memoir or in her diary might be brought up in this particular trial. Everything that Diddy has ever done, everything that any person that he's ever screwed over, any person that he's double crossed, anybody he's done dirty to, I have a feeling they're all coming out. It's almost like Diddy, this is your tainted, messed up life. You know what I mean? And it's like, remember me? I was the one who washed your car. You didn't give me a tip. I feel like it's going to get to that point because the feds are going to literally open the floodgates and let it all runneth over. This is about to get insane, guys. I'm telling you right now, this is about to get insane. And I keep on saying in the last live, I was making jokes about Aubrey O'Day, but I'm like, come on, Aubrey. She better be coming in. You know, Don Richard is going to be coming through, and there's been other victims that are that will obviously get unearthed here very, very soon. But nonetheless, one person for sure that claims to be a victim of Diddy is Al B. Sure, and he has a lot of venom for Diddy. So this is going to be very interesting. So he's saying, Diddy caused my liver failure, willing to testify in federal court. So I'll be sure says he's the last man breathing who knows the truth about Diddy and has no issue using the last of his oxygen to take him down. Now, I will say this. He's not the last man breathing. There's plenty of other victims, men, okay, male victims that have witness things that I'm sure are going to be coming in to testify as well. So there's, technically there's a few other people that are still alive. Okay. But, but I get it. He truly believes that it's him and Kim Porter that are supposed to be up there in them pearly gates. Okay. Or have gotten through those pearly gates. And unfortunately, only Kim went over there, and may she rest in peace, of course. So the R&B singer appeared on Fox New York, which we're going to be taking a look at a clip of that here in just a second, okay? But he was on there earlier today to promote his forthcoming memoir. Yes, he actually is going to have a memoir coming out, and I think it's called Do You Believe Me Now? Because he's been talking about this for years, y'all, for years. So where he raised questions about his late ex, Kim Porter, and about her demise. So Al claims Kim used to warn him to quote unquote watch his back around Diddy and the disputed coroner's ruling that a healthy 47-year-old woman could suddenly lose her life from pneumonia. It was very random how she just lost her life like that. That was very random, and everybody's been side-eyeing it, thinking that Diddy has something to do with it. He may have something to do with it, and he may not. You never know, okay? We don't know what the big man upstairs has planned for us. Sometimes these things do happen, right? Tragedies do happen like this. So Al also revealed Diddy's prosecutors have subpoenaed him to testify at the federal STing trial. And he and his attorney are willing to accept the invitation. Yes, he wants to get in there. He wants to, man, this is revenge. This is more than just him getting justice. This is vengeance, okay? Because he believes it's more than just his life on the line. It's Diddy taking his son from him, basically, taking him in as his own, those kind of things. Of course, taking the love of his life, Kim Porter, away from him. And then, of course, her losing her life in this strange and mysterious way. So this is deep. This is deep. Okay. He goes on to claim Diddy placed a bounty on his head and orchestrated a massive PR campaign to make him, or to have him, look bad, which led to his 2022 health scare. All right. So he fell into a coma with liver failure, but underwent a successful transplant. He told the news station. And he said that for the first time. For the first time, I guess, he firmly believes Diddy had something to do with his failed organs. The moment of reckoning for Al comes when he declares, "I'm the only one alive," suggesting everyone who ever spoke up against Diddy got whacked. I gotta hit the button. Not everyone shares those Diddy fears, however. Quincy Brown, by the way, who is Al B. Sure's biological son, he, of course, shared the biological son that he shared with Kim Porter, is boldly standing with Diddy, aka his pops, until the end. He believes that Diddy has done no wrong. Quite the rift, if you really think about it, because Diddy's the one who basically raised this kid, Quincy. And Al has basically been trying to regain that fathership, for lack of a better term, back, trying to get that back from Diddy. But Diddy took that all from Al B. Sure. And of course, I can see some pent up anger about that as well. It's worth noting, Kim's kids said back in November, while it's been incredibly difficult to reconcile how she could have been taken from us too soon, the cause of her demise has long been established. There was no foul play. Grief is a lifelong process, and we ask that everyone respect our request for peace as we continue to cope with her loss every day. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, this thing is going on. There, the trial starts happening possibly late Monday or possibly first thing Tuesday morning, because they're still trying to figure out what the jury is going to be. Okay, they still have to whittle 45 people down to 12 jurors and 6 alternates. So it might be a long day on Monday to make that happen. But hopefully they get everything figured out and they get this thing right. We'll see what happens. But nonetheless, I'll be sure being brought in. That means I have a feeling we're going to be, like I said, we're going to hear from people we were hoping were going to be subpoenaed. I think that they're going to be some more than we even have thought of, to be really honest. We're going to be like, oh, snap. Like, for example, it's like, are they going to bring in Gene Deal? Are they going to bring in, Roger Bonds? I mean, there's so many names that have been around Diddy's life. I'm wondering if any of them are going to be brought up. And a lot of them, you've been seeing them on Vlad TV, The Art of Dialogue, doing all those kinds of interviews and everything. So I am very interested to see what's going to come up and what names are going to come up here in the very, very near future. Even so, J-Lo, is she going to be called up? I'm just saying, everything that Diddy has ever done, even criminally, is basically being put on the chopping block right now. And every or any person that he has swindled or screwed over, man, I bet they're all chomping at the bit to try to get up there and testify. This is going to be interesting. And of course, we already know Cassie is one of the main people that's going to be there. But I digress. I want to play this video really quick. It's just a small snippet of him talking about the bounty on his head and how he is being subpoenaed. But still, I just want you guys to hear it from the horse's mouth. Let's rock and roll.
You know, even as it relates to writing the book, I went through many, almost, more than a decade of being scrutinized and clowned by law enforcement, them telling me, you need some help. Sex trafficking, really? What's wrong with you? No way, but not realizing that they were also working for the situation.
Because now that's the thing. They're saying that the cops that were all like side-eyeing him whenever he was putting out these allegations, they're all looking at him like he's crazy. But in actuality, he's saying, and I don't know if he has proof of that, but he's basically saying that all these people were on Diddy's payroll, which is interesting. But again, we've heard some wild allegations about Diddy, about his connections with 5-0 and all that too. So maybe that is true.
You were hinting, saying,
posting. I get calls, take it down or else, so on and so forth.
But this is about Diddy, so let's be clear for everybody that doesn't know.
Diddy, who's about to, his trial's about to start. Yeah, yes. They're selecting a jury.
But you were on this train years ago.
Yes, many, many years ago, I posted some information that was, basically trying to save my life. And thank goodness to my ex, the wonderful Kim Porter, the late Kim Porter, who, kind of warned me all along the way to, just kind of watch your back, so on and so forth. And I didn't understand why.
Because of Diddy.
Basically.
Do you believe that she died of pneumonia?
Absolutely not.
Why? What evidence do you have?
She was in the best of health. We just saw each other prior to her passing. We were actually celebrating our son's new Netflix Christmas special, and she was doing just fine. In fact, we were all at the event together at Netflix in the lobby. Sean, myself, the children, all having a great time, and I'm, grabbing Sean like, what? And she's in the back going, stop, So it was a really festive opportunity just for all of us to be together, because it's nothing like the circus that's out here. So it was a lot of the stuff, came to surprise, but a lot of the stuff will be revealed and that's why I thought it would be a good idea to finally tell my story. Every network came to me, participate in so and so, but I said, listen, I have no interest in speaking about another man.
But you are in the book.
Yeah, right. But this, I will speak about where our paths cross.
Oh boy. Like I said, I'm sure this memoir, whenever it does come out, I'm sure it's going to be absolutely insane. But of course, at the same time, now, shoot, maybe he has to add a new chapter with him actually testifying in Diddy's trial. That's a whole story. And I'm sure that's 3 chapters in one book. For sure.
And what's most relevant. It's something I've been trying to say for many, many years. And unfortunately, Roseanne, even with Sean being incarcerated, that's not a celebration. There's no celebration in it. First and foremost, there's way too much collateral damage.
And he's not wrong with that. I mean, as far as music goes, the hip hop and R&B world, he did a lot for the music. And now it's going to be tough because there's so many songs, so much that he's had his hands on, and had so much influence on. It's going to be very tough for the industry, for sure. But I'm going to skip up ahead a little bit because I want to get to that part where he's talking about, looking to testify here. Because this is crazy.
Yeah, actually, I was subpoenaed.
Okay.
So my attorneys worked something out. So I believe when the time is right, I'm going to discuss it with my attorneys.
But you're willing to?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, I am. And again, there's no, like I said, this is not marketing for me. I'm living this life. And
So
the only
let me
reason I wanted to tell the story, Kurt, was very specifically because I was ignored. There was the most expensive PR campaign against me to shut me down. if you actually knew what they did to me, there was a bounty on my head. There was a bunch of stuff.
So
again, this is crazy because he's like, yep, I've been subpoenaed. Absolutely. I'm more than happy to be able to go in there and testify because he has a lot riding on this. Okay. He's been waiting for this moment to actually happen. And of course, there have been people who have been looking at him crazy. And even myself, I kind of been side-eyeing him a little bit, being like, are you sure, you have all the proof that he really did this to you? Could it just be that your body shut down? I mean, there's so many other things you can think about. I mean, it's the same thing about Kim Porter. He said she was in the best of health. She was in tip-top shape. And then all of a sudden she got sick. That is very weird, but it does make you wonder, maybe some things happen, the freak accidents, bad things do happen to people, at random that may not have anything sinister behind it, so it may not be Diddy, but then again, it may be Diddy. So of course, him getting an opportunity to testify is a massive deal, because now it's almost payback for taking his son, allegedly taking him out in this way with this coma, almost taking his life and then taking the love of his life. So this is going to be interesting. He is most definitely a surprise witness. It's going to be interesting, and we'll all be there for it, watching and reading the transcripts as they get tweeted out live. This is going to be interesting, y'all. But what say you guys? Do you think he's the right person for the testimony, or do you think he's just paranoid and filled with conspiracies? What are your thoughts? Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hit that like button down below. Crush that subscribe button, and we'll talk here soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.